Down to the big question. A lot of people want to know, like, Sade, you're a college student and you don't work a full-time job. How were you able to fund all these trips? I'm gonna tell you the tea. All right, y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sade Orje, for those of y'all who do not know me. And today, I'm gonna be talking about how I was able to travel as a college student and how I was able to fund it and how I was able to do it while I was still in school. I get this question a lot and I'm like, it was pretty simple, but now sitting down and realizing, I was like, it's not very typical for a college student to be able to travel like that. So without further ado, before I get into the video, I need y'all to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Like, I need y'all to stop, take 2 seconds, scroll down and subscribe, because if you haven't, what are you doing? Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so just to give y'all a little backstory, I recently just graduated from Carleton in June of 2022 with a degree in cinema and media studies. And I was able to travel, I'm gonna see how many times and to how many countries, and I'll put it somewhere here. But I was able to travel a lot, and I know a lot of people were asking me, like, Sade, how was that possible? Like, how did you fund it? Like, and a lot of these trips I went on solo. Like, how did you feel comfortable? So in today's video, I'm just gonna talk about like how you can be able to travel as a college student, and two, how are you able to fund it? And in other videos, I'll talk about like how it is to travel as like a Black female, how is it to travel solo, how is it to travel to a different country by yourself. But first thing, study abroad. When I was in high school, I went to Spain with school, and I think we raised up about like $4,000 to go through EF Tours. And yes, this video is not sponsored, so I'm really just giving y'all the deets on like how I was able to go. And I went with some teachers in my high school. Shout out to y'all. That was my first experience outside of the country, in Europe, and my first time ever going to the beach. From that experience and going to Spain, I realized that, yeah, Sade, you are a traveler. Like, it was a world that I was not used to. I was so young and I was just like, bro, so like they don't even use the same metrics that the US does. Like, why are these signs looking like this? Like, then I remember going and like they were like, keep your luggages very close. Like, there's a lot of pickpocketers, like people who like pickpocket you. I'm probably not saying the word right. Yeah, and from that experience, I realized that, bro, yeah, I'm called to be an international gal. And from there, I was learning Spanish. I was like, I heard, the Spaniards, and I said, baby, I can deal with this. But also, it was the food that was very enlightening to me, and I was just like, bro, what? Like, people eat pan and jamon every day, which is bread and ham. And baby, I realized from that point on that, yeah, I get food sick, meaning like I miss the food of where I'm from. And that was just confirmed through my other travels. So y'all, I'm looking for my noun later. But anyway, to get back on track, yeah, Spain was my first study abroad experience when I was in high school. We raised $4,000. And yeah, I realized that I was a hustler. I sold chocolate, I did hair, we did like fundraisers with the school, we sold elote. So that's how I was able to fund that. And then the second study abroad that I've ever done was with Carleton, and I went to Denmark. And that one, they just used my tuition and transferred it over to the tuition at the Danish school. So all I really had to do out of pocket was like my plane ticket and food, and small things of if I wanted to travel to a different country or state, or yeah, within the Europe. But sadly, when I went, it was during COVID and everything was shut down. So I was able to really get close to my host family, and I love them, and shout out to y'all. Like, they really changed my experience. So study abroad is one way that you could travel as a college student. The first one, it was more of like an experiential study abroad. So it wasn't like me taking any classes there, and it was only for like a week or two. And then Denmark was 3 months actually. And I was actually like enrolled in their Danish institute there, like learning. So yeah, I enjoyed it because I was able to actually live there and learn a little bit of Danish. Let's see what I could say. Mi nombre es Sade, which is Spanish. Jeg hedder Sade, og jeg kommer fra Texas i USA. Hvordan går det? Oh, så fint. Okay, baby. My accent is probably like boom, 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 boom. But I did the thing. I'm doing the thing. But yeah, study abroad is one option. And ways to fund that is to do it through your school tuition or raise up money with whatever organization you're going with. I'm about to eat my now later. Okay. That sauce is good. So the second way that I was able to travel state to state was with internships/externships or apprenticeships. And so I'm originally from Houston, Texas. That's where I'm stationed. I went to school in Northfield, Minnesota. And my school has a great career program or career center in where you're able to go on different externships, which is just shorter period of what would be considered an internship with Carleton alums. And that is usually over our winter break, because our winter break is like a month and some change. So you're able to apply for it, and if you get accepted, you could apply for funding, or some people are able to fund it on their own. But for me, I was very adventurous, and when we don't have to declare our majors until our sophomore spring. We run on trimesters, by the way. So as a freshman, I did not know what I wanted to major in. So like doing different externships was a great way for me to like learn, like, okay, I will like this, I won't like this. And I wanted to know like what state outside of Texas and Minnesota could I see as home potentially. So I found a lot of great externships outside of where I found a lot of externships outside of Minnesota. I was able to, my first time I went to St. Louis and I did a marketing externship. The second time I went to Alaska. Third time it was a externship in Cali, but it was virtual. And then my fourth time I went to Virginia, the DMV area. So I was able to really like travel around and like be able to work in a different state to see like, oh, the different things. So I was able to see a lot of atmospheres too. Like as soon as I would touch down, bro, like I could tell that there was a difference. Like going to DC, I was like, yeah, this place is very political. Alaska is very homey, like small town, berry type of a bear, and the moose can come up and square up on me at any time. St. Louis was like, hey, I feel like they could jig with me. Anyway, that's besides the point. And with that again, I applied a lot for funding through my school, and to cover the other expenses, I had a work study at my school. I worked at the ITS center, and where I saved a lot of money. So yes, and then the third way to travel as a student while you're still in school is during the breaks. Take advantage of your spring break, take advantage of your winter break, take advantage of summer breaks. During the summer, I was never at home. I always wanted to go to a different country. Like I did a documentary my junior year going into my senior year in Nigeria. I worked with a production company in California. So yeah, during COVID, I was able to do an externship in Texas. So I got a lot of experiences, but through that I was paid. A lot of them were paid internships. So with the one where I worked at the mayor's office, it was for TV, but I was able to like save up money because I knew that travel was in my budget. And yeah, during the summer, find somewhere you want to go. During the winter, go with a friend. During spring break, go with a friend. Like, even if it's to a different like city within the state that you're in. Or I would totally advise people to start off small. Like, if you want to travel solo internationally, and you've never been outside of the country, number one, get your passport. 2, like, start very local, start very small, like go to a different city within your state and then try a different state. Like, if you're from Houston, go to Louisiana, go to Atlanta, go to Chicago, you know, go to big cities. And from there, if you trust yourself and you feel comfortable, do a lot of research on the country that you want to go to. So when you touch base there, it's like you're not a tourist. Although you want to be a local. And I'll make another video explaining all that stuff because it's very important. So yeah. And then down to the big question. A lot of people want to know, like, Sade, you're a college student and you don't work a full-time job. How were you able to fund all these trips? I'm gonna tell you the tea. I'm gonna tell you the tea. Because a lot of people want to be nosy, but a lot of people actually want to know, like, bro, how do you do it? Y'all listening? Come closer. Come a little closer. Come a little closer. I work my butt off and I save money. So there's a lot of ways where I was able to travel. So for example, with the study abroad, like when I was in high school, I did a lot of hair to save money. But as an organization, we did a lot of fundraising and I sold a lot of chocolates. Baby, I remember they used to call me Chocolate Oscuro because I would be selling that chocolate like clockwork. But you know, that was back in high school when I was a little bit younger. But as I got a little older, so like at Carleton, I had a work-study job, and where some money will go to my tuition, but some money like I was able to save. And while everybody else was having fun buying takeout, baby, I'm not against takeout. I had my money on the prize. I said, Sade, I knew I wanted to travel, so I was like, yeah, every money that I have, once I pay off my bills or whatever I have to pay, yeah, it's going to save me. So like, budget well. Like, one thing I've learned about us is that if we really want to do something, we're going to find a way, right? So like, stop making excuses, start eating at home, start eating at the dining halls. And yeah, another way was that I took advantage of my breaks. Like, I never really worked a job, which sounds crazy because my brother brought it up to me and I was like, actually, no. A lot of it was that I am a very intellectual person and I love like learning. So I found a lot of internships that really intrigued me. And a lot of them were paid. And if some of them weren't paid, like I would do hair on the side while getting the experience. And some of them were paid. So I was just like, oh, okay. Once I pay off what I need, pay off the gas, pay off the lodging, pay off food, transportation, all that money I would just save. And another way that I was able to fund it was doing side hustles. Like, baby, DoorDash was my friend when I was in college. Like, although I only had a car for like a year or two, like whenever I wasn't studying and whenever I needed a break, I would DoorDash. And DoorDash was very new in our small town. I said, baby, Sade is about to rack up this money. So yeah, just to sum it up, a lot of side hustles. I did a lot of hair. I did a lot of DoorDash. I had a work study job, and during the breaks, I hustled and made money through different internships. So yeah, I hope that clears up a lot of confusion, because a lot of people just thought that like I had a silver spoon and like my parents were like the presidents and that's why I was able to travel, or like I got money from my parents. And I'm just here to debunk all of those myths, because that's not true. I worked hard. I worked hard. So yeah, if you have any personal questions, please hit me up. Like, I am so glad to answer any of your questions, just as long as you're actually wanting to learn and not be nosy or like waste my time. Like, I'll answer any questions you have. But yeah, like, I work hard for mine. I work really hard for mine. And you can't just sit down and expect the world to give everything that you want, baby. You have to get up and go work for it, baby. So yeah, just find the passion, find what you love to do, find what you like. If you love to hike, if you love to taste different foods from all different countries, like, make that a priority. Like, start saving. Or even Christmas money or gifts that you get. Like, save all the gifts, money gifts that you get for Christmas. Like, do what you have to do to make it work, because you could do it. And a lot of people might be like, oh, well, I don't have a car. Okay, public transportation. There was a time where I was taking public transportation to get to internships and stuff. Like, there's no excuses. You can do it. So yeah, I hope that really helps a lot of people out, and stay tuned for my next videos on travel. I'm gonna be talking a lot about how to actually solo travel, like how to do it being Black, how to do it as a young girl, scheduling, booking, budgeting, anything you imagine. I have it for you. I can do it for you. I can't do it for you. I can help you. I can give you the knowledge that you need. Anyway, like I said, if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and comment. Like, tell me what other questions y'all want me to ask. Tell me what other questions y'all want me to answer about travel, and I got it for y'all. But anyway, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.